Democracy is a form of government that most nations currently use, or at least purport to use. However, democracy is not a perfect system, and many terrible things have happened even in heavily democratic nations. Let's take a look at the pros and cons of democracy. Democracy allows everyone to have a say in the functioning of their government. In a democracy, rules are created either directly or indirectly by a vote of the people. There's an inherent fairness to having a system like this where everyone is involved in the rule-making process, instead of just one or a few people ruling over the masses. Democracy ensures power is not vested in a single individual. When one person, or even a small group of people, have all the power and are accountable to no one, there's a high risk of them making incompetent or corrupt decisions. While there may occasionally be smart and honest leaders, eventually you will run into terrible ones. In a democracy, these people would be voted out of power. Democracy can lead to abuses of the minority. In a democracy, the majority of the population writes the rules, and this can create lots of problems when there's some form of minority group that is very different in some way from the majority. This minority group will have little protections, and the majority might even make rules specifically targeting them. And even if they don't make rules specifically targeting this minority group, their views are still unlikely to be reflected. Democracy tends to implement policies that are popular even when they are irrational. People often do not make the smartest decisions, and there are many subjects in which the average voter has very little knowledge, particularly if there's not an advanced education system. In addition to this, people also make decisions based on feelings and emotions, rather than taking the time to make a rational analysis before voting. Democracy, even when well designed, is not a perfect system. However, many failures we see in the United States and other modern democracies are caused by a lack of democracy built into the system, rather than a problem with democracy itself. In the United States, for example, many of its problems are caused by money in politics, gerrymandering, voter suppression, and the Electoral College. These are all undemocratic flaws in the structure of the system, rather than flaws in democracy itself. Let us know what you think about the pros and cons of democracy in the comments below.